When you're adding formatting to your EDD, there are two elements that are very closely named in the EDD element catalog itself. One is the ElementPgfFormatTag or ElementPgfFormatTag, and the other is the ParagraphFormatTag. Now, the overlap there makes it really easy to get them confused. The ElementPgfFormatTag, this is going to be used when you want to set a base paragraph format and then use the EDD to change the properties of that format or that paragraph format inside your document. So if I'm looking here at the element called definition, inside the element definition, in text format rules, the very first thing I'm doing is I'm using an element paragraph format tag. So that uses definition as a paragraph tag name for all instances of the definition element. And that's great. But I'm going to have different contexts for where these definitions occur. And in this case, it's going to be the indents. So I've got like a 1/4 inch indent for every nesting of a paragraph and every nesting of a list. And that gets quite complex. So instead of setting up individual paragraph formats for definition stop 1, definition stop 2, etc., I've used just one paragraph tag and then gone in with the context rules and said, after setting the paragraph tag here, we're going to count the different ancestors here and then change the properties based on how many times these things are nested. So these rules are not what we're talking about right here, but you can see that we've got the base paragraph tag assigned, and then properties of that paragraph tag get modified over and above what's in the paragraph catalog. Now that strategy differs significantly from what we've got in this title element. So the title element is not getting a base paragraph style. You can see in the text format rules, it starts by giving base properties, but then it goes through and uses context to figure out where this title is used and then assigning a specific paragraph style to that. And that paragraph style is going to hold all of the properties as far as the margins, etc. So again, we're going with the first indent, left indent, and that's being held in title PSA, title P5, title P4. So when would you use one or the other? Well, if you've got something that's going straight to PDF, you can really choose whichever is more comfortable for you. The thing about the paragraph format tag is if you use paragraph format tag in a context rule, then that precludes you from using other formatting like the changes to the indents and things like that. So what you're doing is saying, all right, I don't want to use the EDD to control these properties. I want the EDD to specify a paragraph style. That paragraph style will then provide those properties. That means you'll manage your formatting, if you will, via the paragraph designer inside of your template. The flip side, the one on the element paragraph format tag that we were looking for definition, because this is using the definition paragraph style, you'll end up with the definition paragraph style and basically overrides to that style inside of your document. With the definition, I've chosen to use the one paragraph style for all of my nested definition items instead of using individual paragraph tags, because when this document gets taken out to HTML or HTML5, all those lists are basically going to be in the same place. I'm going to break up that document so my margins aren't as significant. I'm only going to have 1 or 2 margin changes on an individual topic. And while I might have a 100-page document, I might have a 500 or 600-page HTML project after it splits out all of the headings. But the converse is true for the titles. Because that paragraph style is the thing that I will tether to split the HTML project into that 500 or 600 pages instead of 100 pages, I need to have a concrete thing to identify. I need to know that a title P5, or whatever the convention is, that's going to start a brand new topic, and then everything else is going to shuffle accordingly. It just depends on what your goal is going to be. But again, to wrap it up, the element paragraph format tag is when you want one bundle of elements to have a single paragraph style that might have overrides versus using the paragraph format tag, where you will be taking the elements and giving them concrete names so that you can act upon them in some way. One final example, if we look at Adobe's implementation within DITA, even in a blank DITA document, what you'll find if you go to the paragraph designer is the elements are using these paragraph format styles. They're using the paragraph format tag to give unique paragraph styles for every context of every element, versus something more generic where all titles would receive a title paragraph style and then be formatted within the EDD. In my opinion, this makes it easier for a template designer to use somebody else's or to use an industry standard content model and then be able to use unstructured FrameMaker template techniques to change the formatting.